Welcome back, video game fans. And in today's video, we got a pretty touchy subject. I don't normally do videos on this. I do like specific videos for certain genres of video game, my personal favorites and stuff like that. But as you can see with today, we're going to be talking about why video games are starting to be endangered. They're starting to die. They're having a lot of problems. There's very few games that are interesting to anybody anymore. Everybody's getting bored. Everybody's shut inside. There's a lack of three separate things that I want to go over. There's a lack of quality. There's a lack of creativity. There's too much fucking greed in the video gaming publishing, franchise area. I don't know what the hell to call it, but like in gaming in general. With the quality of video games has been dying for a long time. Call of Duty. Here we go. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Oh, fucking boy. But here we go. Call of Duty. Its quality has really lacked. Nobody has any odd opinion about that. It's gotten cool, with Modern Warfare 1. It's pretty cool, going through and playing Warzone all the time. But you can start to tell that they have the quality starting to lack in their new games. They're just throwing them out, trying to get a buck, and that's about it. And it's sad because people are still fucking buying them. And it's just, I don't want my franchise to die. I don't want my favorites to die. Look at Capcom, for example. Their quality is there. They used to have that problem. They learning. They had a learning gap between 5 and 6. And now they have a gap between 4, when 4 ended, 5, 6, and then 7. There's a huge difference between those games. And their quality is insane. Look at Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 is probably my favorite game that doesn't feel like Resident Evil. It's a remixture. It's creativity. That's the second thing. Creativity. It's creativity in the horror genre for what Resident Evil was is completely new. It revamped the franchise. And that's what you should do with a game series. Whenever your audience starts to say, hey, it's getting a little fucking old, I'm getting tired of this. How about we create something new? They didn't even really have to change up the formula much. You still have handgun ammo, you still have, creating certain things, all that stuff, but I don't want to say reimagined, but they revamped it. They did a better job recreating it, They have their remakes, and that's cool. They do. But their creativity there is still, it's something that they've already made. They know that they have the creativity, the quality there to remake a game, and people want to buy it. Resident Evil 2 remake, fucking phenomenal. Resident Evil 3 remake, I know a lot of people hate that game, but I had fun playing it. I did not like that there was some cut content, but now look at what they're doing. With Resident Evil 4 remake is coming out here soon, in the next 4 months eventually. It looks like it has a lot of quality. It looks like they took the time to care for it. It doesn't just look like like Resident Evil 6. But look at the Soul series, FromSoft. FromSoft, I don't understand why they have a balancing issue in their new games that are literally just copy and print. I don't get that. I don't. And maybe it's because, there's a lot of shit in Elden Ring. There's a ton of shit in Elden Ring. There's just so much stuff. There's so much magic and all this other stuff, but like they've done it before. That the creativity's there, the quality's not, and that's sad. It's so sad. I don't want to have to say that about my favorite franchises. I love the Dark Souls series, but Dark Souls 2 holds a very special place in hell in my fucking list. That is a good game. It was great, but it also is bad. It performed horribly. It gameplay wise, it felt like junk. It was very latent. It was very... It aced some places, but it wasn't there. And that's okay for a second attempt. Dark Souls 1 is probably, I wouldn't say the lowest quality, not for the time, but now it's definitely the lowest quality. You can one-shot people with one spell, But then we go into the creativity part being a problem. Quality not being a very big thing nowadays with video games. Quality. I know I keep saying that damn word, but think about it. What happens when you buy a game like Modern Warfare 2 and you put the disc in? What are you doing? What's the first thing you know that you're doing on a new gen console every single game? What is the very first thing that happens when you put your fucking game in? An update. A download of a game that's not even on the disc. And that's not with every game, but when you try to play the base game, imagine trying to play the base game before updates of Elden Ring, of Warzone, of Call of Duty 2, try, not 2, but Modern Warfare 2. Try and play those games without updates. Imagine if you didn't have internet right now, if you did not have any network, and I know some of my videos look like I don't have any, but that's not my fault entirely. Sorry about that. But if you look at it, it relies too much on internet and updates. They don't launch a game that is like, all right, coming out. Look at Cyberpunk. Look at Modern Warfare 2. Elden Ring is the best example of a game that still was playable. It had its fucking flaws. It had some really busted shit, but that was with new concepts, new creativity. Call of Duty's been made fucking forever. when I grow up, when I become a fucking old man, I expect it to be the exact same formula, but better. That's how every game sequence of, series is and stuff like that, how the next one should just be the same thing, but better, or, a newer idea, but better. That's what we expect. That's what we want. It's not that hard to really do. It's okay to have, diversity in a game, but when you keep making it so diverse that it's unrecognizable or that it's bad, I don't want to say trash, but bad, it becomes so hard. Like Dark Souls 1 is phenomenal for its single player. Its multiplayer, if you're fighting a red, there's a lot of issues. But we're not going to talk about just that. I mean, look at Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 has the environment. The environment, the bosses are so fucking cool in that game. But fighting them and trying not to fly off a fucking ledge, like my very first, I think, upload of videos on fucking YouTube, is me flying off a damn ledge at 100 miles per hour at fucking 90-degree angle while fighting a dragon, and it did nothing to me. And that's something that they didn't intend. And I get that. There's glitches and stuff that happen, but what games I'm talking about. There's games out there that you just, like Cyberpunk, you're like, this is a broken, unfinished pile of shit, and it's ridiculous that people are still buying them. They're still going out of their way, and it's fine if you're doing it because you like that kind of thing. Like sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it really is funny to play a game that's just absolutely broken. I play games like that all the time. But they're indie games. They're not made by AAA developers, and they're not things that I'm expecting to be good. They're things that I know what I'm getting myself into. Cyberpunk put on a face and fucked everyone. And that goes into our third topic, being greed. I downloaded Modern Warfare 2. I bought the physical copy. I was very, very shocked with the low amount of storage on that disc. But what really shocked me was that when I loaded up the multiplayer, because I didn't even download the campaign. You know what? The campaign for Call of Duty, I haven't really cared for it in a long time. They're good. Some of them are really, really good. Like Black Ops 1 is my favorite, I think, of all the, predated games. I think it's so good. A lot of them. That's my personal favorite just because it implemented something new. It wasn't always just the same shit, but it did something new. It brought a new character in, and I liked it. But with this new Call of Duty, I download this 100 gigabytes for a fucking game that doesn't even halfway work. What? That's 100 gigabytes. You're telling me that they did that? They used 5 gigabytes back when the fucking 360 came out, and they made a game that worked and didn't need updates very much? How? Sure, the engine's bigger. Sure, there are more implications of different things, and sometimes it's harder. And I get that. I completely can I can go with that. I can completely understand that scenario. What I don't understand is whenever they take advantage of it. They know, hey, I can launch shit, and they do. If you were selling something and you knew that you could do more work later but get the same profit right fucking now, of course you're going to do it because that gives you more money to make more profit. And that's what they've done with Call of Duty. That's what they've done with certain games. Not Elden Ring. Elden Ring was pretty okay. Yes, it has its issues. I will not defend that it does not have its issues, especially at launch. But it's not crashing all the time. It's playable. It's playable, single player playable. It is absolutely fine the way it was, single player playable. Of course, there's some broken shit, absolutely broken, but tiny updates can fix that. Not DLC. Not large, huge, humongous updates of like 30 and 60 gigabytes like Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2. And we're talking about like the 2020 version and right now. Those games have so many updates and so frequently because they keep having bugs and crashes and stability problems and balancing issues when they've already mastered a formula way back when, and they just won't copy, kind of paste. And it sounds horrible to say copy and paste is most people are like, that's fucking dumb. I don't want to play the same game. But you are. You're buying the exact same shit. Any COD player literally buys a copy and paste. And the problem is that that's the problem. You're buying something copied and pasted, and it's worse somehow. Somehow, they tried to make it more creative and fucked it up. And instead of actually fixing it or taking too much time or too much space to fix it, instead of taking the time to launch a game not broken as fuck, they do. Because they know they can get away with it because they can just say, hey, we're doing another update. And fans will literally cool their rockets or they'll still be pissed until the update comes out. Look at me. I was really pissed about Elden Ring's PvP. I'm not going to lie. But I've been feeding hope and hoping to God that it gets fixed. Magic is busted as fuck. How the hell do they not know Magic is busted? They've had Dark Souls, Demon Souls, and Bloodborne to know that Magic and Arcane are busted. And they still haven't fixed this issue? The fuck? Literally how? You're a mastermind at making these games that you've already made and know their issues, and people still cry to you. Like, Miyazaki is literally just like fucking face palming because of how dumb people are for just doing this shit. Like, he's living the dream right now because people are buying it, and people are going up and being like, this is a 10 out of 10 game. Oh my god, look at this game. It's fucking great. Modern Warfare 2 was kind of that way. People were like, oh my god, look at the graphics, but look at the quality. Look at the real quality. A game is not based off of its graphics. It's not based off of its frame rate. It's not based off of anything but how much fun you actually have playing it. And I can tell you, from my personal experience, I've maybe had 10 good matches where I'm actually having fun, and I'm not even winning. I'm actually having fun. Most of the time, I'm getting one shot by a gun that shouldn't one shot, or I'm using a gun that should one shot at point blank and not getting a kill. Or stupid things, like I get booted from the game 93 times, or other things like that. Just stuff that just shouldn't happen. Like, look at this detail in Lady Dimitrescu in this video. Look at the detail. They have so much detail. They have her claws. They have certain things that already initiate with other things. They have a diverse creativity with this. They're not going for greed. Sure, they charged money for the DLC, but it was good DLC. It's something you want to buy. And it's something that is worth the money you're putting into it. I'm not buying a $70 game and expecting it to be as broken as Cyberpunk. There ain't no fucking way you about to fuck me like that. Ain't no way in hell I'm going to buy Cyberpunk. I still haven't bought Cyberpunk, even though I was so interested in it. Fuck that game. After I heard exactly what happened, no way. I don't care if you fixed it now. I bought the game the way it was in. The condition it's in should be the exact condition when I buy it, and it should launch the exact same way it was intended. And if it's not intended to be good quality, creativity, and no greed, even if the greed's there a little bit, but there's so much more overvaluing quality and creativity that it's okay, that I'm willing to put forth that money, our franchises are going to die. The Resident Evil is probably the only... Capcom is doing perfect. Zelda is doing perfect. They're all doing great because they have learned that trick. They've learned quality and creativity and mashed them together while still keeping that little tiny, penny pincher bullshit in there. It's still there. I wish games weren't $60, but now they're $70. And it's like, well, now what the fuck are we doing? We're all getting screwed over, but everybody's just okay with it. Everybody's okay with full goatsy letting somebody put their whole fucking body up your ass to reach and grab your fucking wallet out the other side. Like, it's crazy. Absolutely fucking nuts. But I don't think that games are going to be broken forever. They're going to die, because look at what Capcom did. People are looking at other games, and they always have. Look at Flappy Bird. There's been like a million Flappy Bird games. There's people are doing what COD did with Warzone, and because it's making multi-billion dollars. They do that stuff, and it's fine. But as you can tell, there's a lot of issues, and I just wanted to talk about it. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys had a great day.